It was a mass shooting that shocked the city. NYPD detective Didarul Islam, Ulan Itian, Julia Hyman, and Wesley LePatner, all killed by a former high school football player. 2 months later, the medical examiner is still analyzing the shooter's brain. But what will it reveal? Investigator Mahsa Saeidi is getting answers from a leading CTE expert and a man whose name surfaced on the shooter's final words.
It's hard to imagine what they went through and what their families are going through.
On an evening in July in this Park Avenue high-rise, Shane Tamora killed 4 innocent people, then shot himself in the chest. In handwritten notes left behind, the 27-year-old former high school football player said, "Study my brain. I'm sorry." His family had long warned he suffered from migraines, mental illness, and multiple sports concussions. In his final message, Tamora repeatedly referenced CTE, a degenerative brain disease linked to repeated head trauma. Often found in football players, CTE can only be diagnosed definitively after death.
And the most likely place it shows up in everybody at the beginning is the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex, so right about here behind the forehead, basically with the idea that when your brain twists violently, that part of your brain is moving the most.
Chris Nowinski is a former college football star and pro wrestler turned neuroscientist. After a career-ending concussion at the WWE, Nowinski co-founded a nonprofit that's helped study more than 1,700 donated brains, a reputation the shooter may have been aware of, scribbling Nowinski's name in his final note.
When you found out he had mentioned you by name, what was your thought?
I've spent the last 20 years of my life trying to raise awareness of CTE. Part of the message that we're trying to reach football players with is it can be the cause of what you're going through, and seek help and care is available. And I wish that he heard that message.
Police say Tamora was targeting the offices of the NFL. He wrote, quote, "The league knowingly concealed the dangers to our brains to maximize profits." The city's chief medical examiner analyzing Tamora's brain, conducting a neuropathological workup. Results are expected imminently.
If you have CTE, it is physically changing your brain. It is killing you cell by cell. When you lose enough neurons in certain places, you will change as a person.
Does it always make you more aggressive or violent?
It doesn't always make you more aggressive or violent. Sometimes people become more apathetic. Whatever's in his brain is never going to be the reason for what happened. Human behavior is far too complex for that.
No finding can explain a single violent episode, but Nowinski says hits to the head come with a cost.
We've known for a very long time that one traumatic brain injury can increase your risk of developing bipolar disorder. It can increase your risk of having schizophrenia diagnosis later in life. Shane Tamora, should not have started getting hit in the head hundreds of times at 6 years old. He just shouldn't have. And we shouldn't do that to kids today.
I have to make rent, dude. They took like $6 grand from me.
In 2023, Tamora was arrested for trespass after a dispute at a Las Vegas casino. In 2 other episodes, his mother called 911 to report he was suicidal.
Did he tell you like how he wanted to hurt himself?
No. He was just crying and said, "I'm not going to be able to go any further."
In the wake of the shooting, the NFL released a statement of support for the victims and their families. The league hasn't addressed the shooter's CTE claims.
The NFL does acknowledge CTE and will tell you the 100 things they're doing to try to prevent it.
But Nowinski says those reforms haven't been instituted in youth sports.
Every time you meet a young athlete, they don't understand that CT is not concussions. It's number and strength of head impacts. And we've convinced a generation of men, multiple generations of men, that it's normal to get hit in the head 10,000 times. And I'm one of those people. Now I look at it as a 46-year-old man going, that was insane.
And like he said, football players sustain thousands of hits to the head. Nowinski says studies show about a third of those who stop at high school but die before the age of 30 had CTE. He says it's not inevitable, but that repeated exposure is going to massively increase your risk. We did reach out to the NFL again to see if they had any additional comments, and when they get back to us, we'll let everyone know.
Well, you know, Mahsa, I'm thinking about youth sports, and it's not just football where you can sustain these head injuries. There's soccer, there's lacrosse, there's even girls sports that you can get these injuries. So what does this expert say in regards to possibly even the age where you should be looking out for these injuries.
I mean, thank you so much for pointing that out, because it does apply to all contact sports, and he wants parents to know if your child is under the age of 14, it's especially important not to get hit in the head over and over and over again. It's never good, but especially at that younger age, and it applies to all contact sports as you.
All right, Mahsa, thank you for bringing that expert's voice to our broadcast. If you have a story idea for Mahsa and our investigative team, you can submit it by scanning the QR code there on your screen.